Warren Buffett is teaming up with President Obama. We all know this, and building a case for taxing the rich. My next guest is pushing back against Warren Buffett's rhetoric. He got the billionaire investor to release information about his income. You ready for this? What he found is genuinely interesting to anyone trying to counter the president's class warfare strategy. Buffett made, are you ready, $63 million last year. He paid $7 million in taxes, and he gave away $23 million to tax-exempt charities. Even the president's favorite billionaire trusts private charity with his money more than he does the federal government. Kansas Republican Congressman Tim Huelskamp joins me now. Congressman Huelskamp, it's a pleasure. Let me get this straight. He comes out in favor of asking for more taxes. You write him a letter basically saying, you know, you can send a check to the federal government anytime you want. He writes you a letter telling you what he earned. Where does it go from there?
Well, I think what you said demonstrates he trusts the private sector more than he does Washington. And we don't have his tax returns. I don't care to go through with him. I challenge just to show it because he wants one rule named after him, and that's a new tax increase. But it shows that I don't believe he paid one extra dollar to Washington, just like none of us will. He paid no extra money because he doesn't trust Obama with his money.
He actually followed all of the tax laws, as complicated as they are. He obviously hires tax professionals, as many people have to do today because the tax laws are nearly impossible for one person to comprehend and follow. And they told him, here's what you earned, here's what you gave away, here's what you owe, here's what your tax bill. And yet, and yet he wants to pay more. Congressman Huelskamp, is there anything in federal law that would prevent Mr. Buffett from simply writing a check for another $7 million if he thinks he underpaid and sending it to the Treasury? Stated differently, would Tim Geithner accept that check?
He would definitely accept that check, and the problem is no one wants to do that. They always want somebody else. You know, where I come from, you lead by example, Warren. Send in the check, then we can talk about raising taxes on everybody else.
Where do you think this goes? I mean, isn't the idea of raising taxes in a recession dead on arrival in both the House, which is controlled by the Democrats, and the Senate, which is controlled by the Democrats, and the House where you are, which is controlled by the Republicans?
Well, I would hope so, but you never know what's going to happen up here. But the point is, the president wants to raise taxes. Warren Buffett wants to raise taxes for an election issue. This won't raise much more revenue. Actually, if you raise double taxes on the rich, as Mr. Buffett is proposing, it would raise revenue for about 2 days of what's going on in Washington. 2 days. It's not about taxes. It's not about revenue. It's about the election in November 2012 and going after a class of people and trying to get votes using class warfare.
Before I let you go, this will be a hot issue in November 2012, and you've been at the forefront of it. Recently, the Department of Health and Human Services released a regulation that would require doctors to share personal private information about their patients with government bureaucrats. You sounded the alarm on that, Congressman Huelskamp. We salute you for it. Where did it go? Where does that regulation stand today?
It is a proposed rule, Judge. It's frightening. It would allow some bureaucrat, whether in Washington or somewhere else, to have access to confidential private medical data. It's like J. Edgar Hoover in a lab coat. It is an infringement on our liberty, and I think most Americans, if not all of them, would say, no, that's not what we signed up for. That's not what we signed up for, but that's what Obamacare is about, is taking away our liberty and freedom.
All right. Congressman Huelskamp, please stay on this one. You know you're always welcome back here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Judge.